This is Riki from Rikilikemagic, and Shivy says hi. It's kind of like a Where's Wally situation at this point. He's so tiny. So, as you may have noticed, I have a new setup. I am in a very different place in my life at the moment, transitional phase. So I'm trying out different parts of my house. I don't know how I feel about this. It would be nice if I knew how you felt about this, but be kind. And I may be trying different parts of my home, and then the whole place may change entirely one day in the future. So let's just see how we get on with this. The framing is a lot higher, but if I come back, maybe you can see my feet if I show you. I don't know. I mean, newness. There's nothing wrong with change, although I hate change. But we're gonna get through this together, okay? So just breathe with me. So, this is the beginning of a new series where my patrons have been giving me suggestions, and the first suggestion that won in our poll was Mansae by 17. And I'm so happy to be doing a 17 dance again. It's just they haven't been coming up in my polls from my patrons at all. So I'm so happy a patron asked me for one. And if you want to be responsible for more 17 in my life, and yours, please consider becoming a patron. I also have different tiers, one of which you get an extra video from me a month. The next video I'm going to be releasing is a dance piece that I made that hasn't been seen online by anyone. It was just seen where it was performed live in January of this year. So you kind of get exclusive stuff like that, and kind of extra thoughts of mine and outtakes and little things like that. I also teach private classes as one of the tiers, and I teach tutorials as another tier as well. So yeah, consider, please help a dancer out. In the comments, we have circle time. So circle time is a thoughtful, considered place where we write down our experiences of the dances that we're watching. Be it you like it, you don't like it, there's things you disagree with me, there's things you agree with. It's all there to be thoughtfully presented and considerately listened to. I'm really gonna need your help today because this is madness. This is madness in the best possible way. And it's important that you guys tell me what you see as well and what you enjoy out of it, because I'm really gonna miss so much. My words, there's not enough of them. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. Okay. I gotta prepare myself for this insanely incredible group. Like, I was watching them and I was just like my insides were that emoji that's like, do you know the one I'm talking about? Not the one with the hands, because I do know how amazing they are, but the one that was just like, I mean, I can't get over how there's so many of them and they're all so good and so in sync. And more than that, like, I'll get into what I'm talking about. It's more than just being in sync, because you can be in sync and boring. They're like literally the antithesis of that. Anyway, let's begin. I need my glasses because I didn't want to put in contact lenses today. So here we are. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Couple of things. I don't know what this song is about. I definitely see a story. There is a narrative, but they do that a lot, but this feels particularly narratively driven. So chat to me about what's going on when I make my comments about the dance. Now, I like the lever, and I like how it's not pushed down once and then that's it. It's like this pump that he's doing. Yeah, it's just class. What I will say is I was so distracted by this person. Does anyone else see this, or am I just going insane? Right, just watch. You probably know what I'm talking about if you've seen this 100 times, but just watch behind them in the gray block at the back. Ah! Who is that? That is so creepy. Who is that? Who is it? And then I don't think they turn up for the rest of the dance, or it's one of the members that have been hiding and then they run forward and I don't notice it because I'm too busy looking at the dance. Also, I just noticed there that the pump is not a down-up motion, it's a circle motion. That was so creepy. and it really put me off. Just enjoy the dance. Nothing bad is going to happen to you, Riki. Okay, let's go back a little bit, see the creepy person, and move on. Ah! I don't like it. So that kind of ruined the beginning for me, but let's continue. I love I love when they come up from the circle of people, and they're rising slowly. The whole dance and the whole time I even watch 17, they are constantly performing. Like, it's not like they're waiting for their time when they know the camera can see them. They're already in something. They're already in a role, in a mode, in a character, in a vision of what this dance is. And then the camera happens to be there, or they happen to come into view, which is so beautiful. And it just makes you really relax in a way that you don't have to be preempting anything, but you just get to watch them and be excited by the story that they're in. So you just walk into their world. It's class. Here we go. Okay, I mean, it's too fast for me to actually talk about. I mean, I feel like I can't do this. I feel like I can't do this. Sincerely, the most lovely thing about them is the amazing textures that they're able of producing so quickly. So here it's like really small, and then they change. What I love is how they hit the snare. They keep hitting the snare like really intensely. So there's this very clear difference between like whoa and then ka, whoa, ka. I really like as well how there's always like a little change in one of them throughout the dance. So they're all doing the same thing, but then there's a little something different for someone. So this guy in the red, sorry, I don't know any of their names. Although I think, because one of them does a lot of choreography for them, doesn't he? And I think it's Hoshi. And I don't know which one he is. I think it's the blonde. It could be this guy right here. Help me out here. And then so the guy in the red has a little change, so I really enjoy. Then I love this bit. You can't see my feet. I think you can't see my feet even less now in this framing, but too bad. One day when I'm rich and famous, I will get an extra camera and a full body shot. That is a dream of mine. So if you want to help me do that, become a patron. Hey! I actually may get up on my couch. So you're here, and it's the hit with the knee coming in. I love that. But then also after the hit with the knee, there's this jump that they do, and lads can jump so well. I think they almost hit the snare in midair and like explode their legs out to land, which I love as well. So let's watch all of that together. So the softness and then the snare. Change. Ha! Ba! Yeah. Oh, no, it's not. So they don't separate their legs on the snare. They jump, legs come out, but then they do a little groove on the snare, extremely sharp. That's so satisfying. I'm so happy I'm watching 17 again. Thank you, lovely patrons. So yeah, I mean, there's just too much caught. I can't catch it all. Please help me. But let's watch it one more time and then continue onwards. So listen to that snare. Eh? I'm so, I think everything they do is highly choreographed. Well, I mean, clearly. But even their little moments to camera or their little solo moments, highly choreographed. But there's something really pleasant about watching it. It doesn't feel too staged. It feels like it's choreographed and they know it so well, but they've embodied it. They've integrated it into an on-stage persona that really suits, or not really suits, that they've just met. I don't know, they've elevated. It just feels like they've elevated through choreography, which is hard for some people. Some people prefer a lot of improv. Some people prefer the space to just find their own way through. But because this is highly technical and highly choreographed, it's another skill to be able to do choreographed movements, personality movements that feel fresh. And everything feels so fresh with them. It's mad. Okay, so this guy. Oh, I don't know what it is about that he's fab in general. He has this real kind of slinkiness to him, kind of feline-like movement. And then at the end, my favorite part that he does is the end with the little head and the little squinty smiley eyes. I love his hair as well. I love how his hair moves. And he just has like tap, like that little hit then. They're all such good dancers. How is this possible? Like, okay, here we go. Oh, I think it's a little like he closes his eyes and then he opens them again. This is so cute. I love it. Okay, next. I really like this. So I like how you think it's about the guy in red. Instead, it's caught by someone else, which is really nice. Sorry, let's go back. Like even just all of that, like do cut cut cut, or there's two drops, like something so simple, but again story building. This is really a story building kind of dance, which is extremely difficult to pull off and be interestingly technical. Oh, I can't. I mean, there's just so much there. Okay. The little, like, hoop over here. This is something I'm going to talk about throughout as well. That they're just so on. Like, I love watching all the ones in the background who technically aren't doing anything, but I end up just watching them going, what are you doing now? What are you doing now? What little story have you made up? Sometimes they have a little partner dance. They're just kind of half improving, but probably have very much like set. It's such a joy. And then coming forward, the jump, all like loads of them doing a jump like that. It's so striking. It's such a striking dance. Little hug. Hey, little hoop. I'm obsessed with this section. Okay, so your man comes up, hat man, white cap man. I love the change he brings to the whole room, because it was all like really hard hitting before then, like the jump, and then you've got like the wide space, the unison. It's just so different when he comes in and they all come in. He's just completely changed the energy in the dance, and so eye-catching. Like, I don't want to stop watching him. I think maybe he was chosen because of that, because he moves over to the side and you're still like, and he's got you, and he's still like, come over here, come over here. And so then the other guy, shoop, comes in his class. Like, I really don't see where he is, and then he comes into shot. And then all of this would not work if these people couldn't act the way that they were acting or perform the way that they're performing. They're all incredible. Just the face isn't too much, it's not too cheesy, it's not too over the top, but it's just effervescent enough and telling enough for you to understand what's happening. Even though I don't know the lyrics, I don't know what this song is about, I know there's something about excitement and affection and meeting someone or something, but you get all of this, these people are absolute geniuses, these choreographers. You get a sense of the story without knowing the language. It's class. And it's so to the music as well, and I love this. Just in general, from a satisfactory point of view, this, and then how everyone sticks out at exactly the right time. It's so clean. And so because it's so clean, they can handle doing this amount of stuff. Like, we've had a basketball game, we've had people jumping over other people, we've had a well or some sort of strange pump. We've had so many images that would not work if you weren't as clean and precise as these dancers. And now I love this part of choreography. I am so in love. Where shall we go? I just want to like watch it and not say anything. I mean, there's too much. I love the choice of rhythms in this bridge to chorus. Like, it just makes sense with the music, but it's not too on the nose either, so it's this perfect support for the music. I love this groove as well. I'm not quite sure how they do it because it's opened up the space as well. Also great camera work, because anytime that it gets bigger, the amount of people, the camera pans out. There's too many thoughts. Okay, I'm just gonna watch and squeal. This groove! Excuse me, I am kind of losing myself a little bit with this dance. That move as a dancer is so fun to do because it's like easy, but it takes up a lot of space. Like your arms, you know, like the more space you take up, the more confident and kind of free and joyful you feel. And then the fact that it really travels as well, I just want to do it with them every time. And every time I see them do it, I make a noise. So I love that section. Also, I'm a tad obsessed with Guy in Red because I find his facial expressions to be so over the top. It makes me delighted. And then I love watching all the people on the outside as well. We're gonna go back to my favorite move and then have a delightful time. So, okay, so much happening, right? So this is lovely, them coming forward. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. Don't know if I need to break down anything about it, but they come forward. It's kind of regrouping almost. But I'm one of those people, I don't know if anyone else is like this, but you know when you go to a live show and someone is singing and it's their moment, but there's loads of extras on the stage. I will look at the extras the entire song. I'll always look at the people who aren't the main point of focus, because I'm just like that, and I'm like, I wonder what they're doing, or I wonder what they're thinking, and I'll just stare around. And so I'm doing this here because I'm like, oh, this is one of the first times that they're not off camera when they're not on stage. So now they're off stage, and I'm really impressed. For the rest of the dance, I kind of noticed this a little bit. I'm really impressed at how literally turned off they are, and then they turn back on again. Or if they're on stage, they're fully in some sort of story. So it doesn't distract at all, because I'm very easily distracted. I'm sure it's hard to tell. But then the fact that they're standing, the people standing here at the wall, it's not even that they're off, because a lot of times when I watch dance practices, whenever they go off stage, they fix their hair or they're pulling at their clothes and they're like, okay, yeah, I'm not on right now and I'm waiting for my time to come back on. Whereas here it's like, I am part of the wall. Like, that's my new role. That's my new story, is now I no longer exist until I go back on stage, which I really appreciate. I find it very professional. I love looking at all the little moments. I love that groove. So it's just really simple grooving going through, but it's like tap, tap, ha, tap, tap, oh. There's a name for that move. Oh, this is the mashed potato anyway. The movement that they're doing with their legs is called originally called the mashed potato. And then I just love the shoulders, ta 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 ta. Like they changed the rhythm with that. They're just so impressive. Like, just really simple things. And I love how he pulls this guy in. It really suits the beat in the music, like, dunk. I also can't stop watching Guy in Red for this point. I don't know why. My eye keeps going to him because his poses are hilarious. Like, it's so... Especially the point. I started looking at him when he pointed that vigorously, and then he was like, mad. And then here. Swing, swing, that. I just can't handle your man in red. Like, he makes me laugh so much. I also love this guy in the center, but I've always loved, from everything that I've watched, I've always loved how he performs. But there's something about this part here, the way he moves from side to side in those poses that I really like. But then man in red. So, 1 second. Tap, tap, boom. I don't know. Like it. And then this groove is regular. I can't! Orange-haired man, Bulls man. It's his moment, and yet right next to him, this guy in red is like, and I can't. So funny. Nice and simple. It's a nice kind of palette cleanser. Very, very tight corridor, which I think is interesting. Okay, this is where you want to like rewind 13 times to watch what each member is doing. And it's so beautiful. Like, they're all like excited, really excited. Then there's like mini storylines happening within it, but then you also want to see what each of them are solo doing. I won't be doing that, but let's watch it one more time. So then here, yeah, he gets, and then coming in, slow motion. So good. Oh, and then here. Sorry, I'm like I've never danced this much. I think it just really makes you want to dance. Also, I feel like I have more room here or something. In love. I mean, I don't have that much to say. It's repetition, and then there's a lovely change where they come to the floor instead, and then blonde man who could potentially be Hoshi comes in, and then there's a change. It's just fab. And you just don't expect this, and you really just want to do it with them, because you're like, I can't believe this is happening. And then, ha! Oh, and then here, right? So then they're all so in unison. So I was like, it's the last time, and it's just fab. But then what catches my eye is on the left, someone isn't doing the same movements, and I really thought that it was a mistake. I would say that's my only critique, is that I fully thought this guy on the side, I thought he was off or wrong, because he's not spotlighted enough, because there's somebody in front of him, lonely man is in front of him. And so then I was like, oh, someone's off. And then I look at the place that I think there's no dancing happening, but it's actually his moment. And then you see him do like a really high note, and then that's it. So that's the only critique. That's the only thing that kind of was like, rather than about this dance for me, was just as like, oh, what's happening over here? And then it's over as well. Like, you just see it's over so quickly that you're like, I can't even take it in, you know? So there's too much happening. And then he does like, and then it's done. And then look at them, they're all so beautiful. And then I laugh so much at this ending, because I was like, they're all so gorgeous, look at them dancing, look at them, they're so cool. And then this guy on the right is like, huh? I think he says something, but I love the little like, huh? But they're class, like, look at them. They must be dead, and they don't look it in any way, shape or form. I mean, if you have trained to be able to dance like that and be so together with your 12 other members, you must be so fit, ridiculously so. Okay. And then this little, huh? And then we made it! We're done! Lads, many things to discuss in circle time. Many things. need to sit down. So, how was that for you? Because I think you may have noticed I had so much fun. Now it's your turn. Were you dancing in your room also? Tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like. It is okay to be honest, and we need to support each other in a non-judgmental environment, because dance is there to, well, life is there to be questioned. Life is there to be honestly interrogated without fear. I wish there was no fear of being shamed for chatting about this thing that we're in for a while, do you know, this world and this life. Anyway, wow, that got really philosophical all of a sudden. Thanks! Unreal! I literally am buzzing after that. So I hope you're buzzing too. And if you enjoyed this video, you can like, you can subscribe, you can ring the little bell that gives you all the notifications. You can share it with your friends, and you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Remember, you are who you choose to be, and you're part of something bigger and deeper than yourself. And he's in a new spot, but Shibby says bye!